What is going up, guys? This is the Flamespot here, and we are back with another video. And this video, although it's not a paper game, it's going to go in my collection of other games that aren't paper. In which case, this game is called Change, and as you can see, it is a coin game. Now, this is a multiplayer game only. There's no limit to the amount of people that can play this, and just to envision this game a little bit like something else, it's a little bit like darts, if you've ever played or know anything about it. Now, there are two different game modes that we can play, both attrition and exact change, and I'll get into that. So, first things first is that you have to have one of each type of change of your currency. I looked at my YouTube statistics and looked to see where most people were in, or where people lived who watched my videos, and so I actually have like a little exchange right here. I don't know how common these coins are for other people, so please, I mean, no offense if I did not use like the correct coin type, but this is just what I looked up and I saw. So these are pretty much the exchange. You can see that there are obviously for the American pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, Indian rupees, 1, 5, 10, and 20, and then Thailand, I don't know how to say that, Satong, 1, 5, 10, and 25, and then just down here, I think there's like one person from England, but just for them, I just used a 1, 5, 10, and 20 pence. So you can see that there's an exchange rate right here, which is, I'll get into that later. Now, you can find this whole entire list of rules in the exchange graph on my personal website. I have it up there right now under Change, the coin game, and you can just download that page right there. Alright, so let's actually play it. So, we'll start with attrition. Every single player starts with 200 points, and each round, all players, so you can go one at a time, or if you have enough coins, everyone can do this at once. They are going to jingle the coins in their hands, and they're going to throw them down. Hopefully not on the floor like I just did. There's one, and here's another. Alright, now that that's focused in, you can see that I have a penny, quarter, and dime that are heads up with my nickel, which is face down. And pretty much, these are going to count off for points. So, since I have the quarter, that is worth 25 points. The dime's worth 5, but since I didn't get that 5 points. Dime is worth 10 points, and the penny is worth 1 point. So it's what the actual worth of the coin is how many points you get taken off. If we look back on our exchange rate, or whatever, our different coins, you guys have the 20 as your highest, 25, and a 20. I think it's still fair if you just keep on using that. You don't have to have any extra things. So even though some of them might be worth more for other countries, I still think 20 is fine enough to in terms of points taken off. So in any case, I have 25, 35, 36 points that are taken off. So you should have some piece of paper that you should have. So every single player starts at 200, so you can even just have like one note card and have 200 like for every single person playing. And now you subtract, what is it, 36, and well, might as well do the math, wasn't going to, for 164 left. So I have 164 points that I can keep going for. So at the beginning, it might not seem too important. After all, this game is probably the most simple one, so I got all of them that time, in which the point of attrition is to drop your score below 200. So obviously you want to always get the bigger coins, heads up. It's obviously chance. You might need to shake it more, or you might want to just flip all the coins to make it more legit. But pretty much that's how it goes. So your goal is to go down below 0. Let's say if 2 players get below 0 at the same time, like in the same round, then whoever has the biggest negative score, so let's say you're at, one player was at 5, the other player was at 10, and this guy got the guy who rolled a 5 got a nickel, and a penny heads up, and the guy who got 10, or who has 10 points left, got a quarter and a dime heads up. Since the guy who had 10 gets to subtract more, so he gets to subtract 35 as opposed to this guy's 6, so that would make this guy go to -1, and this guy would go to -25. Then this guy would win since he has the bigger negative number. Let's say if they both end up on the same number, so let's just say these guys both go to -2 somehow, then pretty much you're just going to flip again and see who gets the biggest negative number. It's just between those two players. The other players are officially out. It's pretty much just a tiebreaker, and if that keeps happening, then you just keep flipping until someone gets the bigger or lower number. Although I can't really imagine there to be too many ties. Alright, time to get on to our next game mode. This second game mode is called Exact Change, and it's very similar to the first game mode, besides a few things. First one is that obviously you have your score, which at this one I suggested 300 points for all of them. Now, these points aren't set in stone. You guys can change them to whatever you want. Let's say you don't have as much time, you can do 200, or if you want, you can do 500 even. You can also use different values of coins if you want. These are all just simply suggestions. So you can have everyone to start at 300 points, and we're still using the same coins in this demonstration. Now, just like before, you pick up your coins, you shake them around your hand, and then you drop them. Again, hopefully not on the ground. And then you look to see what is heads and what's tails, and you can subtract them off of your total point value. Now, one of the main differences in this version is that you can choose whether or not you actually want to subtract it or not. So let's just say you're wanting specifically only a quarter for some reason, instead of all the other ones, which is why it has such a high point value. You can say, alright, I see it's a pretty decent thing, I got a lot of heads up, that's 21 points right there, but I really just wanted to get the quarter for some random reason, so I'm gonna not add these to my points. This doesn't mean that everyone else has to subtract or not. Everyone can make up their own decisions. So it's just an extra bit of strategy right there. And why might this strategy be? Well, because the point of this game, Exact Change, is to get exactly to 0. You want your points to go to 0 only. If you go beyond 0, then it does not count. You want exactly 0. So let's just say that we have a few players. One's at 5, one's at 10, and one's at 8. Now, and then let's just say we have another one at like 29, just for fun. So let's just pick up and roll, and then we'll go into a further example what could happen. Alright, so we got 6. So since we have 6, if the first person rolled this, then they cannot get it exactly, because that is worth 20, not 20, that's worth 15 right there, so they cannot win. They have to get exactly 5. Alright, so let's say the 10. Well, again, same thing goes, that's 15, so they can't do it. 8, they can't do it, but 29, they can choose, they can say, hey, I want to subtract, let's say if they rolled it, they can subtract 15, so that'll leave them with 14 left. They don't have to, they can keep the 29, perhaps maybe they're waiting for a quarter and a couple of pennies then, so that they can do the exact same thing. So again, that relies on the strategy. However, let's just say one of the players, doesn't really matter, wants to exchange their quarter, so this is just one person. Let's see, who it would make sense most for. Most likely, it would make sense for the 10 or the 8 to exchange their quarter for coins. Now, what I mean by this is that on our exchange rate, we have a way to exchange your larger value coins to your smallest value. So quarters are worth 5 pennies, dimes 4, nickel 3, penny 1. And same thing like that for all of them. So if you're in England, it's 20 is 5, 10 4, 5 3, 1 1. So You might think, well, why would you want to do this? Well, if you are an 8, 10, or 5, then your likelihood of if you roll a 25 every single time it's heads up, that is a guaranteed loss. You cannot do that. You have to, since like I said, you have to get exact change. So you might want to exchange your quarter for 5 pennies. So now that you have 5 pennies, you might want to exchange your dime as well, but maybe it might be more effective to not have as many pennies and to just take a heads or tails on the dime. Now that we've done that, let's collect our coins and let's just do a hypothetical roll for everyone. Let's see, 1 head, and the dime got heads. But let's just say the dime didn't get heads, you pretty much got 2. So the person with a 5 or a 10 or an 8, they can decide to get rid of the 2, or if they think that their chances are better at getting 5 points or 8 points, then they can do so, or the 10 even. So pretty much, like I said, you have to get exactly 0. Another rule with this one, which actually is not on the paper, is that if you want to, let's just say you think your odds are way too hard, so let's say if you're down to 1 point that you have to get, and you have exchanged all your coins and you have a lot of pennies, and you don't think that you're going to be able to get 1 penny out of like 15, because that is very unlikely, then you can restart your entire board. So you can go back up to 300 points, and then you can exchange all of your coins back to their original values. It's not really... So that's the only way how you can exchange your coins back, is if you do a full hard reset of your points. And so like I said, that's pretty much just if you are stuck, or if a lot of people are stuck and you don't know what to do, then that's just pretty much a way to restart and get out of it and perhaps maybe win. And in any case, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please leave them down in the comments. But anyways, this is the Flamespot, signing out.